Acknowledged around the world as an innovative educator, Esther Wojcicki's own childhood and grade school experiences were quite humble.
I grew up in Southern California in a little town called Sunland, Tujunga. And I went to school at a school called Sunland School. And that was the first place that I went to school. I didn't go to a preschool. I just remember that the school was pretty rigid and had rules that I guess as a small child I didn't really understand.
Now, Bobby has shown us some of the ways of working quietly by ourselves.
All the way through elementary school, I was one of these kids who didn't follow instructions very well. And it was because I got done with my work quickly, and then I was penalized if I talked to anybody or if I helped anybody. And that created a lot of problems because then I got really poor marks in what was called deportment. And it looked like my father only looked at that part of the report card.
The first in her family to attend college, Esther graduated from Berkeley and worked as a journalist before becoming the teacher she wished she had had in grade school. She worked in low-income schools in the Oakland-adjacent town of San Leandro, California, and successfully engaged students others had written off. In 1984, Esther brought her student-centered teaching philosophy to Palo Alto High School in Northern California.
Something like there is or there are, those two words, that is super boring. And people are just like not going to read any further. So you have to make interesting leads.
She grew a fledgling journalism class with a newspaper run by a handful of students into a thriving program with more than a dozen distinct publications, with 3 additional full-time instructors and more than 600 students participating in any given year. When you enter a journalism classroom at Palo Alto High, the level of student engagement speaks for itself.
I feel the same way about WikiLeaks, that we should only publish information if it actually has some kind of meaning. It's not our job to look in the future. We report news.
Exactly, we report. It's not our job to screen what's worth.
No, we report news. We do
Look,
not.
you guys, I'm playing devil's advocate.
When witnessing Esther's program in action, well-prepped student leaders ran most of the sessions from the front of the room while she observed from the sidelines. With more than 70 students, her Campanile News class was cherished by her students.
Since our first class, we've all grown so much, and when we leave, you better keep in touch. As I move on and leave the 12th grade, I'll never forget the campy friends that I've made. I hate to be cheesy, but I know that it's true, because campy's more than a class, it's my family too.
Esther retired from classroom teaching in 2020. However, as a JLI board member and an internationally renowned education thought leader, she remains a tireless advocate for students everywhere. Esther Wojcicki is a true visionary.